We're in the great northwest of the United States, where the cities of Richland, Kennewick, and Pasco converge to form the Tri-Cities region of Washington State. That is where we bring you the 7th stop on the 1999 UHRA Hydroplane Tour. Hi, everybody. Welcome again to the UHRA Hydros Racing, and I'm Rich Hollenberg, joined as always by Steve Montgomery. Steve, thousands upon thousands of fans come out here every year. This is one of the great traditions of hydroplane racing in the Tri-Cities area. They're here to see a beautiful race course. They're also here to see a little history today.
You're absolutely right about both. The McNary Dam just downstream is one of 5 major dams here in the state of Washington on this river. And Rich, it made the Columbia at this point an absolutely perfect layout for a 2.5-mile oval. And as you saw in qualifying, it's the speedway, the super speedway of unlimited racing.
The history part involves Chip Hanauer and the Miss Pico.
Absolutely. Hanauer comes here still holding 61 victories in hand. Bill Muncy, of course, had 62. They'd like to pick up number 62 here, tie the record, and then get 63 in Seattle. But some other boats will have something to say about that.
Namely, Dave Villwock and the Miss Budweiser. And it bears mentioning that Dave Villwock is still the hunted, Chip Hanauer is still the hunter. We talk about national high points. Villwock still holding a 1,707-point lead. What does that mean in layman's terms?
Well, the most you can score in a weekend is 1,600. And normally the guy you're racing picks up 12, 13, 1,400. If Chip Hanauer came here and won every heat, all 3 preliminaries and the final, and Villwock had gone straight to Seattle and skipped this event, Hanauer would not have caught him. He'd still be 100 points behind. That's a big lead, Rich, for this point in the season.
That's one of the stories we'll be chasing this weekend in the Tri-Cities area. Another to look for, 2 veteran drivers mark their return to Hydros Racing. Jerry Hale in the U-19 and Mark Evans driving the Miss Elam Plus. All that and a lot more coming up. But first, let's take a look at some qualifying. And what a way to kick things off, Steve. Dave Villwock and the Miss Budweiser setting a new course record in qualifying.
Over the magic 170-mile-per-hour mark. Very impressive.
We wanted to show them what we could do if we really tried, and we knew that the record was attainable, and we often don't take that chance to run the boat on the ragged edge to set records like that. But yesterday we decided to just do it.
They let it all hang out. So did the Miss Pico. Chip Hanauer qualifying second.
5 miles per hour slower than the Budweiser, but the Pico team has won 3 races this season and hasn't impressed anybody in qualifying.
Then there's Mark Webber in the York International, currently in 4th place in the high point standings, qualifying 3rd.
A team that continues to improve. They will challenge and they will win a race this season.
And then the Elam Plus, driven by Mark Evans, making his return to the sport, qualifying 4th.
Mark makes his return in a team that's surprisingly fast for being part-time participants. Rather disappointing second-place finish in the Detroit Gold Cup. The Budweiser racing team went to the salty waters of Chesapeake Bay in Norfolk, Virginia, and had a perfect weekend. They qualified very well, won all 3 preliminary heats and the final, 1,600 national points. Now they come into the Tri-Cities on a roll. They've won 3 races, and of course, Chip Hanauer and the Pico have also, but the Budweiser has the big lead in national points. Now, as they prepare to put the Budweiser into the water for the running of Heat 3A, it'll be the first time that Dave Villwock and his former teammate and current rival, Chip Hanauer, have hooked it up in the Tri-Cities. Both boats running very, very well up to this point. It should be a good one.
In Heat 1, Miss Budweiser not letting anyone down, living up to expectations and winning Heat 1B.
Beginning with that qualifying record, this team has just had a marvelous weekend here on this very fast race course.
And the marvelous weekend continues in Heat 2B with Dave Villwock taking home another 400 points.
After an impressive win in the Gold Cup in Detroit, Fred Leland and his Pico team moved down to Norfolk, Virginia in the saltwater and, frankly, did not look good at all. Now they come here to the Tri-Cities with very, very high hopes. The plan is to get career victory number 62 for Hanauer right here, close to home, and tie the legendary Bill Muncy for career victories. Obviously, a lot of other teams will have something to say about that, including the guys in red at the other end of the pit area. But, Rich, Heat 3A, the one coming up, will be the first time that Hanauer and Villwock have hooked it up today, and so far, Chip has had a tremendous weekend here in the Tri-Cities.
It started off well for Chip in Heat 1A. He won it despite only averaging 137.4.
Heat 2, I thought the boat showed us some of the best straightaway speed of the year. It looked like the Detroit Gold Cup, Rich, where this blue boat was just a streak.
And they really picked up the pace in that heat, averaging just over 151 miles an hour. As Steve mentioned, the Pico and the Bud both in Heat 3A, as is Freddy's Club, Miss Tri-Cities, Lumar Window Film, and Tweeton's RV Mart.